Welcome to Streams of Income with self-help author Ryan Rieger. For the next hour, you'll hear proven methods for how to live the multiple income streams dream. Ryan is passionate about helping others discover their gifts and start their own business. He's published 5 books, and his courses and group coaching programs have changed the lives of thousands of students all over the world. Ryan's books include Private Label, The Easy Way, Finding Your Grace Place, and his latest, Streams of Income. And now, here's your host, Ryan Rieger.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Streams of Income radio show. I'm your host, Ryan Rieger. Today we're chatting with my friend Karon Thackston. Karon started with copywriting. She's a marketing genius. She has an awesome blog. We had a great conversation today about how to do passive income. We talked about printables. We had Nick Gomez on my podcast several weeks ago. And so we went back and chatted about printables and how she's doing it. We talked about affiliate marketing, ways that she is just connecting with her customers. And she said at the end something that was very, very key. She says, just talk to your audience. If you are in a business where you are trying to build an audience, just talk to them. What do they need? I loved how she said she hasn't really pivoted in her business. She's basically has been kind of strung around like a cat chasing a string, just following what her audience wants and is serving them by what she's doing. And we all do that. And you've got to talk to your audience. You got to figure out what do they want and serve them, and they will come. As my friend Jenny Hunt says, if you serve them, they will come. So this episode with Karon is awesome. All the links will be in the show notes, streamsofincomeradio.com. This is episode 102. Here's my interview with Karon. Karon, welcome to Streams of Income Radio. Thanks for being on with me.
Hi, Ryan. How are you?
I am good. It was fun catching up here. And I think we said we met in Orlando in 2017 at Jim Cockrum's Proven Conference.
Yep.
And so you were in that. I think I found out about you because you were doing Amazon copywriting, descriptions, titles, that type of stuff. And that was an Amazon related conference.
Yep, exactly. And I think we might have bumped into each other inside Jim's Facebook group or something like that, because it seems like we knew each other before Orlando. And then it was like, oh, hey, look, I know that face.
Right. It's fun. It's fun. I know internet's cool. I love having an online business, but I love even more having the opportunity to meet people in person. There's just a different level of connection that can happen, relationship that can happen when you meet somebody in person. So are you still going to a lot of conferences? Maybe not right now with everything going on.
Well,
but
no, not right now. Maybe end of the year, I might look into 2022, something like that, and get back into some of those things. It is fun to travel every now and then. I never really did that many, maybe 4 year, 5 years, something like that.
What ones do you go to? Like, what are important to you, and where do you find your clients?
Well, believe it or not, a lot of them are coming in through the website and through the blog.
Perfect.
They're seeing the posts that are going out that are on the blog that we're sharing on social media, or, they've heard about the newsletter that goes out from Marketing Words once a week. And so they sign up for that. Somebody refers a product that we've launched or something, they include a review of one of our products or things of that nature. And then people come in like that. We're focusing more as a company, probably for the last 2 years, on training more with passive income, low content, printables, blogging, affiliate marketing, all of this type of thing like that. We're still doing some writing with the Amazon. We've got those pages up on the site. So if people want Amazon listings, we can absolutely do those as well. But because of the way Amazon turned in 2020, I'm trying to think on the fly of a polite way to say this without saying Amazon was really mean to its sellers. So
I hear you. My sellers understand. You can say whatever you need to say.
It was. So a lot of that, unfortunately, we saw a lot of that drop off.
Yeah.
And especially the poorer, smaller sellers whose inventory got trapped. And, I understand the essentials have to go out. I get all of that. But man, that was a mean time for Amazon sellers.
Yeah, for sure.
Really was. So a lot of the business that we're getting now is in these other areas. And, those are coming in, like I said, from the blogging that we do, from the guest posts that we put out and things of that nature.
Yeah, I definitely want to get your story, but you just said something that, and again, this is why I said before that this may take a different direction, but you mentioned that you were doing a lot of copywriting and then Amazon did its thing. And then now your business is a lot more focused on this. A lot of people, when something happens that's unfortunate, they just, the business might shut down or they're not able to pivot. But it sounds like you've been pivoting. You have pivoted. My business looks nothing like it did in 2008. We started selling furniture on Craigslist. We haven't sold furniture in years. And so no furniture ever. It's just, I'm glad we don't do that anymore, but it got me started. So talk about just that process. Was it slow? Like, oh man, we're getting fewer and fewer customers on Amazon. We need to pivot, or was it already, how'd that happen for you with moving this direction where you're going now?
It happened very gradually. We didn't see a serious decrease in our business during the pandemic until I want to say March, maybe just a little bit, and then probably by the time we got to June and everything was just crunched and locked down, we began to feel a little bit of a pinch. And it wasn't necessarily me saying, oh, it's time to pivot. We got to figure out something else to do. It was people on the list, people that get the blog post by email, or people who just dropped by and left a comment on the blog or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were saying, what are we going to do? This is what I used to do. I was selling on Amazon, and I had one person, as a matter of fact, later on say, I see you shifting from time to time. I've been on your list forever, and I would love to hear your story and how you make these decisions. So there's a My Story blog post that went up a few months ago on the blog, I think marketingwords.com/blog.
Okay.
But when people started asking questions, what can I do that's quick, that I don't have to have any inventory for, because I've already got my life savings is sitting in Amazon warehouses and they've shut me out. I can't get to it. I can't sell it. I can't, put it on eBay. I can't do anything. So that's where printables came from, because the first thing that came off my mind, they're quick, they're easy. There's no product, there's no inventory. You don't need Amazon or Printful or any of these other companies to do it. You can slam these things up on Etsy and whatever and be done in a heartbeat. So I began to get contacts from people who had been referred from other people. Oh, Karon Thackston is now talking about printables and POD and whatever.
Yes.
More and more. Do you know her? And so other people were getting in touch with me, because I'm heavy into affiliate marketing, have been forever. So people would come up and say, hey, I hear you're into this. I've got some training about all these different types of printables, and there are millions of them.
Yes.
If you think your people would be interested, do you want to be an affiliate and see if it works? And it did. Wow. So affiliate marketing became bigger and bigger and bigger on my end, and printables became bigger and bigger. I have never been heavy into print on demand, POD, but I would consider it on other sites besides Amazon.
Yes.
And things just shifted. People started saying, you mentioned something about using printables or little guides or checklists or whatever to build my list. So even people who weren't interested in selling printables now had an interest in printables because they were trying to grow their list. So I did a course on that. Making money with freebies is the name of that course. Even if your affiliate partners don't have freebies that you can give away that upsell to a funnel, you just do your own for the affiliate products. And and a lot of people are going, whoa, I've done that, seen people do it for their own products, but never for an affiliate product. It works really good.
Oh my gosh. I definitely want to dig into that, because my audience is into printables. I had a guest as a friend of mine named Nick Gomez that partnered with you. Do you know Jenny Hunt? Maybe know that name?
I know the name, and I've seen her KDP course with Jim. So I'm familiar, right?
Okay, so she partnered up with a guy named Nick Gomez that does printables, and so I want to hear your version of it too, because it's probably a lot of the similar stuff. And let's here in a minute define it, because some people are probably thinking they didn't hear that episode on my podcast, or they're what in the world are printables. So I want to hold a place there, because I definitely want to talk about that. But I just love how you pivoted. You listened to your audience. You're like, how else can I serve you guys? And you
That's right.
gave them what they needed.
What problems are you having? What solutions do you need? Because really they weren't coming to me with problems. They were coming to me with a definition of the solution they need. I can't put any more money into inventory. It has to be no inventory. I don't have my own website because all I've done was sell on Amazon. So, something that didn't require, had to have a marketplace to sell it in or something like that. So by bringing what they need, not necessarily the problem, but what was on their wish list. And there we go. So, okay, you guys want to go this way? Let's go this way. That's fine. I'm having fun.
It. You gotta pivot in business. It will not look the same. Wow. Real quick, tell me your story. And I'm sure there's some things in there we'll be able to pull up, but I definitely want to go back to affiliate marketing, printables, and anything else that's on your heart. But I know you said, I saw on your page you got started in 99.
November 1999. I had been in marketing for many years in different capacities, from full service ad agencies to little in-house, I was the one-man in-house ad agency.
Okay.
And I was getting tired of working for other people. And on top of that, my husband and I had begun to try to have a baby. And I knew that I wanted to be home in some capacity when this child arrived.
Yes.
So things got going in 99. We managed to birth a business, never managed to birth a baby. Turns out I was able to get pregnant, but I had no follow through. So
we had that happen three times to us. So I totally understand all of that. Yeah.
Yep. And after 8 years, that was enough of that. And time is not your friend when you're going through that, as you well know. So our age was creeping up, and we started, wondering, what if we do and it doesn't turn out well, and the baby's whole life and our whole life. And so we said, okay, fine, let's go do something else. So we have had lots of pets off and on, and the joke in our house when we want to splurge and do something that we think is very elaborate, we laugh and we say, well, it's cheaper than a college education, because we haven't had to pay that.
Great way to look at on the bright side. Yes, for sure.
That's right. So I took off down the road with marketing words. It started out as full service copywriting of all sorts of online stuff. We didn't do, brochures and things like that, printed things. And we didn't do broadcast, but we did pretty much the rest of that. And it was just me for a while. And as the business grew, I began to need some help in order to expand. So I brought in writers and VAs and proofreaders and project managers and whatnot. And so the team has grown over the last 22 years, I guess.
Wow. How many people do you employ now? VAs and folks in the States and all that?
I think we have 8 now,
awesome.
Not including me.
Wow. Yeah. How many of them are VAs?
Well, with a very broad definition, all of them would be.
Okay. How many of them are they are the ones that you have some in the Philippines too?
No,
they're all, okay. They're not Filipino.
All US.
All US VAs. US. Wow.
Yep. That's something that's just close to my heart. There's so many people out there in the US looking for work. And if I can find people to match, you always know there's somebody out there that will do what you want to do at the price that you're willing to pay for those types of projects. It's a matter of finding them.
I've heard that copywriting is actually harder. I do a lot of VAs in the Philippines because we have a lot of Amazon sellers in my audience, and they can find products easy and they can do most anything. But copywriting is something that's a little bit more difficult to find a VA overseas.
The writers are not, the writers are not VAs. They are actual copywriters. One of our copywriters retired from Hanes brand.
Oh, wow.
Yep, after a long career there. And she said, I'm tired of the corporate stuff. And she was actually a subscriber on my list. And she wrote in and
Oh my
said,
gosh.
can I send you my experience? And do you need any writers? I'm like, yes and yes. Today, could you get it to me today?
Wow.
And the other one has written for, don't have permission to share these, but she's written for some major heavy duty online marketers and large online companies that people would be very familiar with. So I'm happy to have both of them. And then
that's great.
I've got a couple that just do some little things here and there, but those are the two that are first up with Amazon listings and things of that nature. They do an awesome job on everything I throw their way. They've both been with me for years. So, so very lucky to have them. But, you know, when we first started with the copywriting, it was just web pages and whatnot. 99 is very early in the internet age.
Sure.
And then started to hear this thing about search engines. And Lycos and Alta Vista and Yahoo and all these ones that people are going, what's that? And we pivoted that way to go into SEO copywriting and did that for years and years. You may be familiar with the name Jill Whalen. Highrankings.com used to be with highrankings.com, and she started doing a series of traveling road shows and workshops. So we would go 2 to 3 places with her and several other folks a year to do you know, the SEO thing for a while, and that went on for a long time. And as that began to turn, you see, or I've seen over the years, that when a type of marketing method gets saturated, the expectations change. Early on, and even probably midway through a big boom in something like with SEO, when it was very young and whatnot, you could put 2 keywords on your page and wham yow, you know, you would pop up. No problem. And as that got, you know, people started getting more into SEO and learning these techniques, and then you get Google coming up, who's changing things 17 times a day. It gets way more complicated and harder and longer to get results that you used to. So the expectations were still, with most of the people that were coming to us, I have a brand new website. I want to rank on page 1 in the next 6 months for 14 keywords. And I'm like, yeah, well, that's not happening. So nice to know you. And we just wouldn't take those projects. But we left SEO because it got to where the expectations outweighed what we were able to do with just copywriting. And almost everybody that came to us really needed full service SEO agency to handle what they were doing, because it now required way more than putting some keywords on a page. So, gosh, the next shift from there, I have to think of what it was that came after SEO, but I got into Amazon. How did I get into Amazon? A friend of mine, Christine Cobb, who I have known forever.
Yes, I know Christine. Yes.
Yep. She attended an online webinar that somebody from NAMS, Niche Affiliate Marketing System, had presented at, and she attended the webinar and said, have you ever thought about selling physical products online? No, I have not. And she said, I went to this webinar and it was really interesting how they do it. And I'm like, I don't have warehouse space. I don't have blah, 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 and all this other stuff. I'm not interested in that. And she said, you need to go watch the webinar. You don't need warehouse space. You don't need this. You don't need that. You don't need this. You do it all through Amazon. So that caught my curiosity, and I sold on Amazon over a 3-year period, 2 different times. And had moderate success, but I didn't grow to the point to where I could start outsourcing everything and hire warehouse, you know, third-party warehouses and whatever like that. And I really did not enjoy having to touch everything with digital, especially. You know, if you want to launch a new product, you're going to put some hours in to
Sure.
develop the digital product and record the videos and put them up on your site and, you know, all this stuff, the copy and advertising and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But if it fails, I've lost some hours and I've lost a little bit of money that I had to pay VAs and whoever.
Yep.
If you're going to launch a product on Amazon and you fail, you've got 500 little boxes of widgets sitting out in your garage going, what the heck am I going to do with these things?
Yeah, that can be that way. The way we teach it, we didn't really matter, but for those listening, they're like, oh no, you can do it this way. So we usually teach like buy a couple, 2 or 3 of something, test it out. So even with that, it lowers the barrier and lowers the risk. But I hear you. Yeah, the digital is like so much more fun.
For me, and everybody's got their own thing. For me, though, it turned out after 2 runs, I finally said, okay, I'm really done with this time.
Right.
I'm not going back to it again. I'm really done with it. The digital is just easier, faster, and I had, you know, higher profit margins. And I get it. There are people out there who are just killing it on Amazon. And congratulations to you, but that was not me.
Yes.
Yeah, that didn't work for me. So went back into the marketing stuff, and you know, the copywriting has been there, sort of a foundational thing the entire time. But I think that was probably when I turned a lot of my attention to affiliate marketing, which I have always loved, but it sort of waned. You know, Amazon takes a lot of time also, or it did for me. So all of that sort of waned a little bit while I was playing on Amazon. But it's just sort of grown from there with the affiliate marketing and then the passive income. And it's very, very cool. There are posts on my blog about all of this too, where a year ago, my dad had some very benign symptoms that we thought might be possibly his allergies or his asthma, or he had AFib years before. He'd had surgery for that and everything seemed to be awesome, but maybe that was causing his exhaustion and couldn't get his breath and whatnot. And finally, July 4th, 2020, in the middle of the pandemic, although he had said he did not want to go to the hospital, he would just go to another doctor and see what was going on. We finally talked him into letting us call an ambulance to take him in. So he'd go right to the emergency room and no sitting outside and whatever.
Yeah.
8 days later, he was gone.
Oh my gosh.
He had advanced stomach cancer that had spread to his liver, lungs, and lymph nodes. And there was just, you know, in his current condition at his age of, he didn't make it to his 82nd birthday, so 81 years old. They said, you know, this is just god awful chemo, and he would not survive one treatment. So 8 days later,
wow, so sorry.
He left us, and I just dropped everything during that time. I was at the hospital constantly. I had an internet connection. I would check email, and I would reroute stuff to members of the team.
Yeah.
And the affiliate income is what sustained everything, because I could be sitting there talking to doctors while they made rounds and watching the nurses hook up IVs with pain medicine and whatever, trying to get him, you know, settled in so that the pain wasn't so horrible. And after I had walked down the hall and had another cry, I could come back and open email, and there's, you know, you've got a commission, you've made a sale, and da 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 da. So all this stuff is still coming in while I'm bawling about what's going on with my dad at the hospital. Yeah. And there's not too many things that can do that for a business. Right. So passive, especially recurring passive, those are just golden things. And yes, I don't care what your primary business is. I'm of the opinion that every online business owner should have some form of passive income, even if it just brings you $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month from, you know, several different sources.
Exactly.
Because you never know. And if it's just you, if your business can't survive without you, even for a few days, there's a lot of ways that can happen. COVID, you have an accident, you know, you break a leg, you fall down at the grocery store, you know, trip over the buggy wheel or whatever and hit your head and you're in the hospital for a week, or a family member has a dire emergency.
Right.
I love passive. I'm working toward my 10-year exit plan right now, and focusing on recurring passive as much as I can. So that gives us a little bit of extra money. It's the difference of flying coach and flying first class.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's talk about your passive income strategy. Like, what are you working on now? What do you want to add in? I still don't want to get back to printables, and that may go into it because it's partly part of it. So what is I love your article about passive income, because I get emails from people saying, I want to have an Amazon business that's passive. And I kind of laugh because that really doesn't exist. I have a friend that's starting a business that allows other Amazon sellers to do pretty much passive. He has a bundle, he has a private label brand that he's allowing other sellers to come in on, and he orders the product, he bundles it together, he has a prep center and sends it off to Amazon for that person. And so he and I are doing a test. That's about as passive as I have ever seen. But talk about passive income and some of the strategies that people can be thinking about employing to get to that.
My very, very favorite is recurring passive income. And when I say recurring, I mean I have to make the sale one time, and then dependent on that business and what terms they've set, I get monthly or weekly or annually or whatever it is for that particular product, payments automatically. I don't have to keep reselling it. They come in from the same person who's on a schedule and an automatic payment plan. So every month or every quarter or whatever, here comes
a like a membership site of some kind, something like
membership sites can be that way. Software, any kind of software would be that way. Different types of monthly services. I have right now, I just have $50 a month coming in from Amazon PPC services. Well, it's not just Amazon. These people do Walmart and some other things too, but I've worked with them to promote that company. And so I've got starting off with my little $50 a month commission that comes in from that. So that's a service that would be recurring, all of these types of things. But then I teach in my passive income jumpstart course how to make your own passive income with affiliate sales, because you can set it up so that it wouldn't be monthly necessarily, because that's too close together. But if you repurpose some of the products that you've promoted before, then you can create your own semi-passive income that's recurring.
Yes.
And that's another thing that I like to do, even with things that are not recurring. I'll combine some strategies from Passive Income Jumpstart, which shows people how to find affiliate products that fit really well with their list, and that would give them some ways to make that passive, even if it isn't passive, right away, different ways to do that. And with the tools that I use, I just put these together. I think it was last month or the month before, in repurposing game plan toolkit that I have now. I
got that. It was so brilliant. I gave that to my VA that does the social media for me. She's like, these are great ideas.
Thank you. Yep. Those are all the things. That's how blog post shortcuts came about. That's something else, that product that I have, that I had all these scraps of paper from my bedside table and in my car pocket and all these things, where I would come up with different ideas of how to write a blog post and what I needed to include in it and what types of things I wanted to research and how I could monetize it and blah, blah, blah. So about a year ago, maybe, I started popping out what I call blog post shortcuts. And it's just little 5-page PDFs that walk you through all this stuff. It's not just blank lines in a template, fill this in and whatever. It's way better than that. But anyway, I'm going down.
Oh, that's okay. And that would also be a printable, right? Did you consider that to be a printable, a PDF download?
Technically it is, but it's not. Yeah. I mean, it is something that you print off yourself. So yes, by that definition, it is.
We'll get back to printables. I want to hear what you're thinking of them, because it might be different than what Nick was talking about. But keep going. So the passive income, this is good.
So passive income. So all of these types of things are working in. But when I look at at affiliate marketing and passive income, because you can have one without the other. You can do printables on Etsy, and that's passive income. You set it up one time, and if you optimize it correctly, then you keep getting sales and blah, blah. But with the affiliate stuff, I decided I don't want to have to send emails all the time. And I don't want to have to track down brand new affiliate products for my list all the time, because that gets time consuming. And the idea is to have it as passive as possible. So what I would do would be look for the affiliate programs or the individual people that have affiliate programs for their products and see what was available and how big was their offering. Did they just have the one product? Did they have ways to upsell to other products built into their system? Instead of just selling, I've got one that I'm testing here in the next couple of days that I'm going to mail about, and it's recurring, but it's teeny tiny. So I'm going to test that, and how do you do these tests? You just want to do it one time and see what happens. Is there a way to make not recurring products at least semi-recurring? And I did find a way to do that, with the repurposing thing. So I love to find ways to make it easy. I've been doing this. I've had marketing words for 22 years. Like I said, I'm starting my 10-year exit plan. I am going to be out of here as far as actively in the business. Most of my stuff at that point is going to be passive and or recurring affiliate. I may choose to work 10 hours a month or something like that if I want to. Great. But the whole idea is to not have to do it if I don't feel like doing it. So
love it.
Yep.
Wow. All right. There's still some we could dig in. I could have you on 2 more episodes. Dig in. Probably a whole series. Let's talk about printables, because that's definitely intriguing. That course that Jenny did with Nick did really, really well, because people, especially Amazon sellers, are like, what in the world is this new strategy? So tell me about your definition of printables, what that looks like for you. We can also, obviously, I'll have a link to, do you have a course on it?
Not on printables, no.
On the printables? Okay. But I know you've probably written about it, and I'll find some blog articles that we can.
Blog articles at marketingwords.com/blog. And I do have a Create Profitable Printables planner. This is going to be the first printable that I will put and sell on my site. I have had some on Etsy, and now I want to test doing some on my own site. It hasn't launched yet. Probably, let's see. Right now it's July 20th, so it's probably going to be a few more weeks before it's ready to go. But I'm really excited about that one. I wish I had that planner when I was doing all this stuff. So
I'll let Nick know about that. Nick and Jenny says because I imagine the people that are in that course would get a lot out of that for sure.
Yeah, and I would be interested in finding out more about what they're doing too, because that might be of interest to my people. So
so tell me what your definition of printables are, and I'll tell you what Nick does. And
so printables for me can be anything from a one-page checklist to a 35-page planner. And the only requirement that I have as far as printables go is that it is in a format that somebody can download it, open it up, and print it on their own printer. And that's what makes it a printable. It doesn't have to be sent through to a print-on-demand company and shipped to anything. It's just real pay, click, print.
Perfect.
And they come in all shapes and sizes. You can even do, I didn't even realize this, and I thought this was the coolest thing. You can do printable stickers. Now, people at home have to have sticker paper, and then they print off the printable stickers and they just cut them out. Yeah, they are the coolest things. I never, because I'm thinking, how are they going to get them to stick? And you do have to have the adhesive paper at home, but you just buy that where you would buy normal printer paper and whatever.
Interesting. So the printables, these are things that already work in your bit, like the checklist or the planner. Are they all in your same wheelhouse as far as copywriting, blogs, or is it different subjects? Like a checklist, for example, is that what's that? What might that look like for you?
Right. And so right now I have some copywriting cheat sheets.
Okay.
I have a 90-day marketing planner. I have a blog planner. I'm trying to think off the top of my head what else I have. I have, I think, a goal planning worksheet.
Okay.
And all of these are up in my Etsy shop, and then
Wow.
some other things like
You
that.
do pretty
And
well
then,
on Etsy? Is it selling pretty well on Etsy, those things?
they do okay, not as well as I'd want. And because the whole mindset and the price level there is just teeny tiny, what would sell on Etsy, like I think the marketing planner is 30 something pages or whatever. And it's might be $10 or whatever, things like that. But the printables that you sell on your own website, whether you set up, your own system with WooCard or a member or whatever you're going to use, or if you go through Shopify or BigCommerce or something like that, they sell for a lot more.
Okay.
So the same thing that would sell for $9 or $10 on Etsy might be $27 on your website.
Yes.
On your own website. So that's what I'm going to test and see, how that works. I'm not doing them as a commercial license yet. This first one's going to be just for personal use and see how that goes. I want to get the system down and whatever, right, before I make a decision about whether I'm going to allow people to use these with a commercial license.
Okay.
So a little bit of testing going on. See what happens.
That's good. Well, even if Etsy brings you in $25 a month, that's $25 a month that you don't have now, that it's just on autopilot, or if 250 or 2,000, whatever it is. That's great.
Right.
Yeah. So Nick's printables, the way I think that it falls in under what you're doing be more what I would be interested in doing. It's something that I'm not going to have to switch. It's something maybe I'm already creating. It's in my current niche. So what Nick is doing, for example, is he has there's so many different examples, but one is he's got like his grandmother's recipe cards that he is like scanning those, and people will buy those. He says, even if they have the stains from like the ketchup on it doesn't matter, because people print those out and put them in what's called junk journals or other types of, I've looked a little bit into this. To me, I can't go down that rabbit trail because I'll get stuck, and I need to focus on what I'm doing, what I do really well. But also there's a nurse that wrote out all of her nursing notes during nursing school and sells those on Etsy, and is doing he has a tool that allows him to see how much she sold of that product. And it looks like she's made about $500,000 from her nursing notes, and handwritten nursing notes. Yeah. And so that's a different thing. And so people are just doing so many different things with printables, and it's
they are.
intriguing.
And you can do checklists, you can do one sheets, you can do full-blown planners, you can do calendars.
Yeah.
You can do to-do lists and trackers for everything in the world, from how many times you took your dog out to go to the bathroom. Not kidding. There is that on Etsy. To how many glasses of water you drink a day, health planner, or, all kinds of other things like that. Lots of baby stuff for people trying to get pregnant, all these kind of trackers. Did you do this? Did you check your temperature? Blah, blah, blah.
Wow. So with your checklist, would it also are those things also lead magnets for you or freebies for you on the digital side?
Not the ones I'm selling.
Okay. Could you take the lead magnets and turn it into could those lead magnets that you're doing, could those become printables too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are just ebooks, a lot of them are ebooks. Some of them are fill in the blanks, but you can even do the ebooks on Etsy. I mean, that would be considered a printable guide or printable ebook. So that would work too. They could read that digitally if they wanted to. But the general idea is that at some point it will be printed and used in print format.
Yeah. Wow.
Sometimes people will offer fillable PDFs in addition to the printable PDFs. They could type it in there. So. But everything in the world, mine have been related to what Marketing Words does as a business. But there's Ignite by Amazon that is teachers, an educational type of thing. So any kind of children's coloring sheets or
My gosh.
Fill in the missing letters. Teachers are constantly looking for things to keep children busy and to learn about different things and whatever. So handwriting sheets and all different kinds of things for anything from, I think it's elementary. I don't know if it goes all the way up to high school or not, but Ignite is free to join. It is operated by Amazon, but they they even say on the Ignite page something about how simple it is to get started, because all the Amazon sellers go, oh, I'm not doing that again. And they promise that it's simple to get started. I haven't tried to sell on Ignite, but I may get into the educational things.
Yeah, I just recently heard about it. I've been on the page and have not done anything with it. But
questions and tutorials, I see those being sold as printables, how to do this and whatever. And then maybe it includes a little checklist too and something like that. So
interesting.
Just wild things that can be put on paper and printed out.
That's cool.
It's amazing.
All right, tell me about affiliate marketing. This is kind of a selfish question because I'm just learning. I always want to grow and expand my business, and you got a lot of experience. So what's the best way for somebody who has products like you and I to find affiliates for that?
Digital products you're talking about?
Yeah, digital courses, ebooks. Yeah.
Most of my marketing, most of my affiliate stuff that I'm dealing with is me as the affiliate. But when I am looking to find people to promote my products, I will typically start on social media.
Okay.
And I will look for people who I am already an affiliate for.
Okay. Yep.
And follow along for a little while and see who speaks to them, on the posts and whatnot. Are they talking about affiliate stuff? And then I might reach out to, 2 or 3 of those folks and say, hey, I noticed you commented on Abby's post about this on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. Are you an affiliate of hers? I have some products that your list might be interested in too.
Love it.
And just keep in mind that they probably get 10 or 20 of these a day.
Sure.
Yeah, which as product creators, we do too a lot of the times. Yep. So I try to keep it short and sweet and make it all about them. Your list would benefit from these. You get this type of commission and whatnot. I have freebies available that upsell to my paid products, or evergreen coupons available, or blog posts that you're welcome to repurpose and put on your blog and whatever, so that if I can make it as easy as possible for them, here's everything you do. I have swipe files, I have this, I have that, I have blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
All they have to do is copy, paste, send. They're way more likely than if they start snooping around my stuff and say, well, she's got some great products, but I don't see any coupon codes and I don't see any swipe files in the affiliate center and whatever. And I've got to do all this stuff.
Right.
If you can help the lazy affiliates, and I am a lazy affiliate, I am in that group myself. If you can help us as lazy affiliates get off and going really quickly.
Yes.
That's awesome. I'm also available, and I have those swipe files there. If people say, I've got an opening this weekend, or I've got 2 blank spots Tuesday and Wednesday, this is my list. This is what I'm focusing on these days. Do you have something I can mail about? You darn right I do. I will find something you can mail about.
Nice.
And here's your coupon code, and here's your link, and here are these 3 blog posts that talk about things related. You can pull paragraphs from if you want to, and all this other stuff. So if they have an open spot and are asking me, I'm going to find a way to get them what they need.
That's awesome. I also love how I've not seen, and I'm sure there's other people that do this, but you send out emails and say that you can earn a commission just by sharing this blog post. That's brilliant.
Yeah, and your link is included right there in the email. So if people click to that blog post, almost every one of my blog posts is monetized somehow with either a freebie that will start a funnel that will eventually upsell, or there's a mention of a product, at the bottom of the blog post or whatnot, so that affiliates can do that. And even if somebody doesn't purchase right away, they get cookied, from the person just clicking that link. So if they come back, 30 days later, and decide, oh, let me try this, then there's some of your passive income. You're building,
awesome.
You're getting people cookied or tagged in a system by sending out all that free stuff. And then later on you go, oh, look at that. I got a commission notice from Marketing Words.
Love it. How long, if you have a freebie, does that start an email sequence then after that? How long of it? How many emails does a customer get when they sign up for a freebie on your site?
It depends. If it's a email series or something like that, it might be 6 or 7 days that they would get it, because you're going to want to do however many days your email series is, and then you're going to have a couple of upsells. Big thing that most affiliates don't do is they'll send one final email instead of sending 2 or even sometimes possibly 3, and giving some urgency in there. You know, you've got 1 day left, you've got 6 hours left, or 4 hours or whatever. I tell you what, there have been more times than I can count that I would make a few sales with the first email that I would send, maybe a couple more with the second email I would send, and then with these last call emails, last chance emails, I would make as much as the other ones and more.
Yeah, that's the same with courses too. When we have a deadline, ends at midnight tonight, you'll get a ton at 11:50 to midnight. It's crazy. That last day is always big. Does the same? And again, this is a question. Hopefully, other people are getting value out of this, because I sure am. I know you have different freebies. Do they all have their own email sequences? Wow.
Yep.
Then do you have a course or a blog post that details this stuff, that process? Because this is not, I don't do a good job of the email sequence after a lead magnet. They get into my general list and they get my weekly newsletter that comes out every Friday, but it's general for everybody. I don't have only for my main product, Legends, which is the Amazon group. I don't really have a good email sequence for my lead magnets.
That's recurring income. I make recurring income from your Legends group still years later. I haven't promoted it in 2 years, and I've still got people in that system. So I'm still getting commissions from Jim every month on that. But but making money with freebies. And I can give you a link to put in the show notes and whatnot, and I can even give you a coupon code if you want your folks.
Well, and the making money with freebies, does it detail what those emails should say on each day, kind of, or does it break it down that detailed, or is that something only with your copywriting services?
It will go into it. I mean, it's not going to tell you specifically what to say. Now, if you want to, but it does go through ideas of what to put. It shows you examples. And of course, just to be clear, making money with freebies is the one that talks about creating freebies that upsell to other people's affiliate products. But the principles are the same.
You can still use the same for your own products as the same.
You could absolutely swap out and put your own product in that same system, and it would work just as well. For emails, probably Email Advantage is going to be the best bet, because that goes through the whole email writing series, and it's split so that I show you, okay, if you're doing this for affiliate marketing, you're going to want to do if you're doing it this way. Those are promotional emails, but those are the types of things that I'm putting into the back end of mine anyway. Sometimes it's going to be just about the product, but I might have a last call for a product of my own, and then send another email or something like that if there's an affiliate product I know of that works really well with what I'm doing, and I'll tack that on the end. So they get the last call about me, and then the next day or two they get something like that. So that's very cool.
Very helpful.
And I also have a freebie. I'm sorry, I keep thinking.
No, this is good. No, I'm learning.
I also have a freebie about creating evergreen emails. I've got to, when we get off, you're taking notes, right? When we get off, I have to give you all these links to put in the show notes. But that one does go into creating funnels more. So remind me about that freebie also.
Creating evergreen emails.
Evergreen emails, So that would help more with that as well.
Cool. All right. And guys, this is going to be this is episode 102. It's going to be on streamsofincomeradio.com. We'll have links for all this stuff in there. Wow. Anything else? I know we could go on and on for, I could talk to you for 3 hours because I'm learning a ton here, but
well, I'm happy to come back another time and we'll pick up where we left off.
Do it. Anything else on your heart? Any advice for somebody who, especially those people that are pivoting and maybe they don't enjoy the physical product so much. They want to get into something like what you're doing, which is having an online audience and you're serving them with content that is something that you're skilled at, you have experience with, you have a passion for. Any advice for that person?
Talk to your audience.
Yeah.
I've been known to send out emails that had a subject line or something like about what's troubling you now. What do you need help with now? Yeah. And the whole content of the email is, if you're having something you're struggling with, reply to this email and tell me what it is. And if I can help, maybe I can refer you to somebody else. Maybe I have a solution for you here. Yeah. Then awesome. And I always get, I would say anywhere from 10 to 25 emails that come through. Everybody's not going to do that.
Sure.
Respond to that. But the ones that do are sincere and they want to know what you have to say. And all of this is just like when people were emailing me with the solution they were looking for. I need something without a website, with no inventory, blah, blah, blah. That's a little piece of string that's pulling the kitty cat along, come chase the string over here, because that's what they're asking you to do. So I do that a lot. I have been known to email and say, what do you want a coupon code for? I have a massive database of coupon codes from people that I have promoted and my own products and whatnot. And what have you wanted to buy lately that you couldn't find a deal on? Let me see if I can get a deal for you.
Wow.
Well, those types of products that people are asking for give you a very clear idea of what they're interested in.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. So if you communicate with your list and not always just sales emails or blog posts or whatever, but ask them questions or send them one and say, what questions do you want to ask me? And then, all those questions come in and you see,
become blog posts for you.
Right. Exactly. And we repurpose blog posts, and there we go. So all of this stuff is, I find it, as long as I stay in touch with my audience, they sort of guide me. It's not really me pivoting, it's them leading me along.
That's good.
Looking for things to do other than Amazon or anything else that you're into at the moment. Mm-hmm. I make a list. What do I hate about what I'm doing now? Mm-hmm. What do I just not want to do anymore that I'm having to do now? And here's this side of the list. And if I could snap my fingers and create the perfect next step and the perfect environment for me to work in, what would it be? It would be easy. I don't do well with long-term projects, so they would be quick and simple to put out. I would only have to work 3 days a week or whatever's on my wish list. I wouldn't have to transfer files all over the place. It's tedious and boring and I hate to do it. And you go through and say, how much can I get rid of? How much can I outsource to somebody else? And what can I do? I start looking online, what easy ways to make money without a website or something to that effect, and just dig around. Be open-minded. If it comes to you in a package with a different colored bow than you imagined, it doesn't mean that it won't work. So if you'll go ahead and open the package and sniff around a little bit, isn't that neat? I've done that before. Things have come my way, and at first glance, I went, "That's not what I was looking for," but that's what showed up. So, see how it will work for you. Maybe it will, maybe it won't.
Yeah, brilliant. Karon,
I try to do what's easy for me. I try to make it what I want it to be, and not what's going to be a lot of work and a lot of headaches.
Yeah, you figure out what kind of life you want, what you want your life to look like, and fit your business in around that, rather than the vice versa. Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Thank you for bringing your 22 years of experience to my show. I appreciate it very much.
You're welcome. It's great to talk to you again.
Yes, absolutely. Let's do it again. Let me know when you ever, obviously we could dig in on so many more topics, but anything else ever comes to mind, you think, oh, wow, I think your audience would be interested in this, I'd love to have you back on.
Well, and maybe in the comments, do you have comments on your show notes page and whatnot?
We don't in the comments, but I have a Facebook group for the podcast, and I know a lot of my audience, so they can always email, and it goes out in the email.
They can. So after you guys have watched this episode, this video, or listened to the podcast or whatnot, go to Ryan's group and you tell us what you want to know more about.
That's great idea.
And we'll give it to you.
That's right. We'll do it. Thank you, Karen. Appreciate it.
Sure thing.
You've been listening to Streams of Income with self-help author Ryan Rieger. From right here in the Dallas Metroplex, Ryan teaches several entrepreneurial courses and group coaching programs to students all over the world. Be sure to listen next week at the same time for Streams of Income with Ryan Rieger.